Hey everybody, it's goatpasta. The Suffering. It needs a remake. For those who are unaware, the game stars Torque, a man who's been accused of murdering his wife and sons. But, after being imprisoned on Carnate Island, some scaly stuff starts going on and the prison is overrun by ghostly ghoulies. It's every man for himself as you try and fight your way off the island. Throughout the game, you encounter other inmates along with ghosts of the island's past, while making tough choices and figuring out if you really offed your fam, cause what a coincidence, your memory's a little fuzzy on the incident. Alright, so there are a couple key things that should be looked at when remaking a game. Number 1, atmosphere. Walking through a spooky school? Ooh. Hopping across the land to kill rocks? Ah. Some games hit that atmosphere in the balls first try, but others not so much. And this gets more easily excusable while we trek back further into the technology we had to work with. Resident Evil is a triumph of gameplay, and the horror genre wouldn't be the same without it. But fuck, is this ugly to look at? The cutscenes are like pornos that never get to the good part, the voice acting, while funny as hell, kinda gets in the way of the immersion. So in Resident Evil's case, a remake was in order, and it did fucking wonders. While keeping the majority of the mansion's layout, the game mechanics, and letting players choose between tank and alternative controls, the atmosphere is jacked up and jacked off. Still no porno, but hey, that's what the internet's for. I haven't played the other two remakes, but while I like the classic gameplay more, they definitely seem to hit the horror atmosphere right on the nose, and that's due to our access to the techs. Number 2, gameplay. This can be controls or the UI, TP, FP, it don't matter, son. If the gameplay sucks by today's standards, I think that warrants a remake. Usually the game mechanics of a good remake doesn't change the core elements to gameplay, because unless the story is polished gold, the gameplay is what makes the game fun and memorable. Now back to The Suffering. When it comes to the atmosphere, The Suffering does a lot of right. It's creepy, worn down prison, what more do you need? This game is like Max Payne peppered with Silent Hill, and that's not a bad combo. The subject matter of The Suffering all adds to the layers of spook. All of the monsters are incarnates of different methods of death row executions and shitty atrocities committed by humans that all tie in with Carnate Island's history. Lethal injection, gas chamber, firing squads, decapitation. You know, just the best of the bunch. The gameplay of The Suffering differs from a lot of our best survival horror titles. The developers wanted to focus more on action rather than horror, so the game has kind of a Max Payne feel to it, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but the game is also playable in first person, which can be smoother for some, but I would personally take a silky smooth third person over any first person perspective any day. The UI isn't anything bad. I always love a Metal Gear type system of equipping weapons and tools, so yeah. I don't really have anything to say about that. So what needs working on? The combat is not the best. It's very literally hit and miss, mainly on the PS2. The game has sort of an auto aim lock, which can be great, except it's not too accurate. You have to be about 5 feet away from an enemy if you don't want to waste ammo. But once you waste your ammo and you happen to be fighting these fuckheads, using a knife is halfway impossible, so maybe an actual targeting system similar to Uncharted or Resident Evil could help a butt ton, but if they can do that without altering the ass crack ratio of the screen too much, it could do wonders in terms of honoring the original third-person playstyle. The AI from a 16-year-old game is bound to have some loose screws. The enemies in the game often showcase some behavior that's kind of easy to predict, and they'll always take your time to get to you, so constant movement is pretty much an easy win. The karma system. When you meet these companions, you have the option to kill them, giving you negative karma, or help them escape with you, giving positive karma. It's a system we've seen a lot, but it could be better than what it is. It would be neat if the different options you have benefit you in different ways, maybe an upgrade, how the story progresses, whatever. This way people might actually have an incentive to question their ethics and go against the good and or bad. Also in the game, the karma system affects what ending you get as well. I've always enjoyed this idea, but I don't know about you guys, but I think we can ditch this unsatisfying bad ending, good ending trope and give the players a satisfying ending regardless of how they chose to play. Make the game a true personality and morality test. I think having an equally desirable set of endings would give the game a lot of replayability as well. But this is all my dumbass opinion. What do you guys think a Suffering remake should include, huh? If it should exist at all? Give me your dumbass opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please take a huge shit on that thumbs up button underneath the video player that this video is on. And subscribe for weekly videos too, I guess. Be safe, everybody.
Shut your cracker ass, goose.